Alright, starting over here on this side. I used to have tomato bushes that were grown up all on that wire, tied up, and they were going past the wire into the peak of the building. We just had an ice storm here, 1st of March in East Texas, and unfortunately, because of an electrical issue, our water heater shut down, and the fish tank water quit being heated, so the water cooled off. Therefore, the greenhouse wasn't heated any longer. We use the water to actually heat our greenhouse, and as a result, our tomato plants got cold and kind of froze them down. So we trimmed them back. You'll have to excuse the pots. I'm actually starting some petunias, not for in the greenhouse. We won't grow them here. They're just sitting here, and I've used aquaponic water to water them, or water the seeds to get them sprouted, make sure they get lots of nitrogen to grow really quick and really well. I find this method works really well for starting the seeds of any kind, whether it's vegetable, flower, or whatever. But you'll see my tomato plant, what's left of it, I've trimmed it back to a nub. And if you look very closely, set my adult beverage down, you'll see new growth right there. Now these will come back out, and they'll come back out stronger and healthier than they were to begin with. And these tomato plants are quite leggy. And I've moved an awful lot of other stuff around also. I had a lot of onions scattered around back here. And I moved all my onions up into one area right here, so we can just trim what we need as we go. I've also transplanted some different lettuces and some arugula in this area, just to fill in the void and take up space for now. And I'll scroll around here, and you'll see that right there is actually chocolate mint. And you'll see I've got it in soil. I water it with aquaponic water and then let that water drain back down in here into the grow bed, and then I'll remove this from the bed and set it down where it gets direct sun, because mint loves direct sun. This is the passion flower. Almost lost it. I didn't realize I even had it in the greenhouse. It was laying in the back by the fish tank, and I found it about 3 weeks ago. Been nursing it back to health, and I've got new growth down there close to the soil. Again, this is something I would not put in aquaponics. It's very invasive, just like the chocolate mint is, and will give you fits. Of course, we've got our Italian kale here. This is a smaller one, but they're doing really well. And for those of you that saw when I put in the strawberry plants a couple of weeks back, that's them, all 3 of them. They are frost and, dare I say, freeze tolerant. I've actually had these plants with snow, not these particular 3, but other the same breed, with snow several inches deep on top of them. Brush the snow off. They had berries on them at the time. The berries were fine, and the plants kept right on growing. Just going up here, this is actually a garlic right here, and I'm going to put my thumb down here to show you the size of the stalk. That's how thick this garlic is, and it is just wonderful. When you break a leaf off this or cut a leaf off, and you can see right here, we've actually done that. We just cut that leaf up, just cut the greens up in a salad for our garlic flavor. Right beside it, we've got cilantro that is growing nice and thick, and you can see where if I get close enough, you can see where it got a little bit cold and burned the leaves just a little. Not a big deal. You cut that up into your salad or whatever you're making, and it does just fine anyway. Alright, we've got broccoli here. That's this, which is rather small. But then we've got more kale. And as you look at these kale leaves, some of these kale leaves are 8 inches, 10 inches long. And if you look close, you'll see we've actually been pulling leaves off and eating these in our salads. Our Brussels sprouts are doing marvelous, although I've seen nothing produced on them yet. But they look like they're about to start heads. And as I get around here, we love basil. Most everybody I know in aquaponics grows basil of some form. This is our Genovese basil. We've got 3 stalks right here. For the 2nd time, the cold weather in Texas has knocked those down. Really taken its toll. But in the last few days, we got brand new growth that's coming out. This one's not growing as well, and we may lose these. But there is some brand new growth right there. We'll see. And they smell fantastic. Anytime you touch basil, that whole smell gets in the air. It smells fantastic. Looking around here, I've got spinach that we just planted, some seedlings. We've also got some Swiss chard out here. And those of you that's been following along with what we plant and when, you'll know these are just a few weeks old and they're already getting really nice and sizable. Can we pick off of them? No, probably not. We could take a little taste test, but that'd be about it. More garlic. I've put most of my garlic in the same central location. I've started trying to consolidate stuff, especially if it doesn't need a whole lot of direct sunlight. I'll move all those garlic plants together, all those onion plants together, and then when I need something, if I just want to flavor a salad, I'll pull cut a few leaves out of that and cut it up in our salad. Now onto the arugula. I showed you where I planted a seedling the other day. This is what our arugula is looking like now. And I got to tell you, the flavor on this stuff is outstanding. You can see how large these leaves are. You go to the store and try to buy this, and it's going to be half the size. It's unreal. Right back here, you'll see we've got another kale. These are even larger. We've got kale leaves here that are close to 12 inches. This bed, for whatever reason, is doing better than the other bed is. Just the way it is. Swiss chard. I went to the supermarket the other day and looked to buy some Swiss chard. Actually, I was just looking at it to see what it looked like. It was the size of my hand. This is 2 to 3 times the size of my hand, one leaf. And we pull a leaf or two off this every day. If you look down in here, you'll see it's producing new leaves non-stop. It is just a wonderful plant. We bought this at the end of summer last year, that particular Swiss chard. Our daughter has cut it down numerous times, taken everything it had to offer to putting her magic bullet and make her veggie mixes. And this thing just keeps on and keeps on and keeps on like you wouldn't believe. And there's a leaf that got cut off and apparently forgotten. So that'll go into the compost. Set that right over here. More Brussels sprout, which, you can eat the leaves to this, but we're waiting for a head to form. Gotta tell you, I don't know what this is. This was a volunteer that just popped up out of somewhere. I went ahead and moved it over here. Down under it are some chives that, because of the lack of sunlight, are not doing very well. I'm going to have to pull these and move them somewhere else. Before the sunlight was cut off by these larger plants, this thing did fantastic. I mean, it was wonderful. The flavor was wonderful. Growth was outstanding. Great little plant. Or plants, plural. Here are some leeks. I've got 2 leek plants, and they very, very much need to be cut down. They've actually gone and made seed pods on both of these plants. But they both need to be cut down. I've just been waiting for these seed pods to mature just to see what would happen. And then you'll look, I've put out my mesclun mix last summer and throughout the winter, time to time. And this is all of our lettuce that we pull from daily for our salads. And yet another kale. So we got lots of kale that we pull from non-stop. You'll notice I've got some petunias here that are in full bloom. I only bring those in here every so often. I will water them with aquaponic water for 2 or 3 days and then take them back out. This is another one, another plant from the last video that I talked about I was saving. It is a vinca. And this thing is just coming back to life marvelously. It survived the winter out in the cold, and we have just worked with it till it's doing really well. Now for one of our pride and joys, the celery. This one celery stalk is over 18 inches tall. It's closing on 2 foot. In fact, let me go get the tape measure. Let's see how good I am at calling the length of a celery stalk. Very excited about this. I'm going to put this right at the base of the celery, and I'm sorry for moving so quick with the camera. More than 24 inches. 26 inches from the base to the tip of that stalk. This is something we planted as an experiment, and it has done fantastic. We've got another one that's only been in here for about a month, and it too is doing fantastic. It's in a situation where it's not getting much sun, so this one's not growing as fast. This one we had no clue was doing this well until I cut back those tomato bushes. I had 4 of them. We pulled 2 out. I gave those 2 root balls away. Here's one of the tomatoes, and you can see brand new growth right there. So this one is coming back out also. It's just a matter of time now before it comes back out. These will start as almost like suckers, but they will become the main part of the plant. and within a month and a half, we should start producing fruit. And you'll see I've got lots of free space here, open lava rock for new plants. With that said, we just planted brand new seeds, and we've got sweet corn in the front, cucumber, 3 of those. I say 3 basils, but it's actually probably 18 to 20 basil plants. And what will happen is, once I get these coming up, I'll thin them, and I'll put some in the grow beds. I may replace my ones that are not doing well because of the double freeze, and then I'll put the rest of them outside and use some aquaponic water to get them started. Basil grows really well here during the summer. I've got okra plants, 9 of them. I will probably only keep 3, and I'll give the other 6. If all 9 come up, I'll give the other 6 away and let somebody else enjoy the okra that comes from this. Also, I planted some beets, and my writing was not very good. It's hard to see, but it's there. Got 6 of those, and I've got probably 20 or 30 garlic chive seeds in here. Now, those of you that have been with us for a while, you know that the seeding media that I use typically is gravel. But I'll also dig down a little bit, and I'll set these pots in here, and I will run this using water leaching up through the sand to water our seeds. That is a wonderful way to start seeds. When you're done, you pull these plants out, you dip them in water a couple times, every bit of the sand falls away, you put them in your grow bed, there's absolutely no sand going into your system, there's no dirt, there's nothing that comes along with those roots. They clean up nicely. Alright, so let's just look around a little more, see if I missed anything that I could point out. We used to have a lot of cilantro in here, and I pulled it all out and moved it over to another grow bed where it gets more sun. This poor little kale here, it's going to have to be moved. It's just not getting enough sunlight right here. Unfortunately, it's on the wrong side of the bed. All this lettuce used to be really tiny, and overnight this stuff just shot up as our system matures more and more. The lettuce is getting out of hand. So there's so much here right now that as much as we can pick every night and eat it, we're getting tired of eating the same lettuce every night. So I'm going to have to start pulling some plants up. And I have been doing it. I'll take and find a piece and break it off and taste it. And look how beautiful that is. Nice and waxy. Good flavor. If that was bitter, I would go ahead and just pull the plant, put it into our compost for our black soldier fly, and have a nice empty spot to put something else, or make more room for a plant like this poor kale that's not doing well. Look around here, see if I've seen anything else or missed anything. And that Swiss chard is beautiful up in there. Lettuce like this needs to be pulled out and moved. It's just not getting enough sun to do anything. Same thing with this spinach. And that one, at the time I put them there, it seemed like a good place, but they're not getting enough sun. So I'll go ahead and pull those out and move them over to this grow bed and put them out somewhere else. If my Brussels sprouts don't do something pretty quick, I'll probably eat the greens that we want and go ahead and pull the plants and put something else in its spot. I didn't realize they were going to get quite so big. I would have put them on the back of the bed on the north side to allow sun to get to these plants on the front side a little better. For now, that's about it. I do have one lonely black-eyed pea plant that is growing. Let me walk over here see if I can get a shot of it. I haven't really looked at it, so I don't know if the cold got it or not. Looks like the cold knocked it down a little bit, but I also see new growth right on the top of it. So hopefully within a week or two it'll come on up, start growing up our fence, and be giving us beans within a month or so. But for now, that's about it. If you haven't joined us on Facebook yet, just search True Aquaponics on Facebook. Ask to join. It's a closed group, so I have to actually give you permission to join, which is not a big deal. I do that to keep people that's selling sunglasses and tennis shoes out, so don't think it's anything special. It's just that. And that should do it. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube.